This video explains how to use the EFS Fleet Card interface to upload EFS transactions into the TMS system and create driver deductions from these transactions. There are two types of EFS cards. The Smart Funds MasterCard lets your company load pre-calculated advances onto the driver's prepaid credit card and automatically create a pay deduction in the TMS system to be applied to the future earnings of the driver. The driver can then use the advance funds to make whatever purchases they want. The driver can also request their pre-calculated advance from the Circle Mobile, thereby eliminating the need for the dispatcher to get involved. The Fleet Card lets your company define daily limits on cards provided to the driver. The driver can then use the funds to purchase only predefined products like fuel or fuel additives. These transactions are then downloaded from EFS to create pay deductions to be applied to the future earnings of the driver. This video is for the EFS Fleet Card only. To import EFS transactions, go to the Settlements tab and then the EFS Imports menu option. By default, this will show a list of all the pending or unassigned imported EFS transactions waiting to be processed into the TMS deduction system. The top right of the screen will show the last import date and time. You can click the Import button to manually force a connection to EFS to download any new transactions. The imported data will be presented in the grid as follows. The transaction status, this has one of four values. Pending, which means it is waiting to be processed. Unassigned, meaning it cannot be processed until the card is assigned to a driver within the TMS. Applied, meaning the transaction has been applied to a pay period deduction. Or ignored, meaning it has not been moved to the driver deduction system. The EFS transaction number, the EFS transaction date, the TMS internal card number, a drop-down to select a pay period, the driver assigned the card in the TMS system, the driver assigned the card in the EFS system, the transaction amount, the internal and external fees, the total amount, and the EFS card status. To create a deduction from one of these imported records, choose the appropriate pay period for the deduction. This will automatically set the process to a green and click Create Deduction. This does the following. A deduction for the advance amount is created in the deduction system for the chosen pay period associated to the driver assigned to the card. Any internal and external fees will also create deductions in the same pay period. Internal transaction records are created, and the imported transaction is set to Applied. If you go to the pending deductions in the deduction system, you will find these newly created deductions. If an imported EFS transaction has a status of unassigned, use the gear function View Card to assign the card to a driver in the TMS system. Once this is done, you will be able to create a driver deduction from the imported EFS transaction. The benefits are as follows. It automatically downloads transactions from the EFS system on a periodic basis. It is then easy to create driver deduction records to the proper pay period, thereby automating recording advances to the settlement process. This eliminates data entry errors and reduces administrative overhead. In summary, to create deductions from the EFS Fleet Card system, go to the EFS import screen, retrieve data from EFS, assign each transaction to a pay period, and process the records. This creates the necessary deduction and transaction records in the TMS system.